Wind was the factor here, so I came out looking to make the most out of a windy day, when in actuality, it was the wind that made my day. Hey folks, Nick Harrington here. Happy resident South Dakota pheasant opener to all who celebrate. But we are coming to you here from Lake Sharpe, and a pretty windy Lake Sharpe. We've actually had a quick break in the wind. It's kind of lightened up, so I'm trying to shoot a quick intro for you here and kind of detail what we're doing. So setting the stage for you, about 6 o'clock this morning, real nice storm went through, lots of lightning, some good rain, nothing major like what we had, the 7 inches big. I don't think it's going to impact water clarity at all, but pretty good storm to start the day. And now we have had some big winds from the southeast. So what we are doing, I put in 7 o'clock this morning, mainly because, not because I wanted on their low light bite or anything, mostly because actually this is the calmest part of the day. So I found a nice little break in the wind right here, trying to get this intro shot. It's about, let me look, it is 7:32 right now. Sun's gonna come up in about 20 minutes. You can kind of see the light coming out of the back, really pretty with the clouds. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take advantage of this bite as right now, just before it gets super windy, which looks like it's gonna be about 11 o'clock. And so I am just trying to get out. I'm trolling crankbaits here in Hipple Lake Farm Island Recreation Area. I keep watching my planer board because it is still a little dark to see. I can finally kind of see. But just trolling crankbaits, trying to cover water. I ran down all the way to the end, and now I'm just kind of blowing with the wind. So hopefully we can find some fish here before it gets terribly windy. Watercolor, still kind of dark to tell. Looks a little dirty, but it's always dirty in here, so who knows? And with that, hopefully I get some fish to show you how we combat this situation on windy days. Welcome to the prairie, where it can blow like a bear cat for right away, and then it just gets flat calm. So gonna set the stage for you a little bit now, taking as much advantage of this nice window as I can. So what I'm doing, trolling crankbaits, number 5 Berkeley flicker shads, lead core line as always. Even though it's shallow in here, about 6.5 feet right where I am, I still always troll lead core, just because I know my numbers and I have the same setups in the boat all the time. It just makes it easy. Less line out too. So for background, I'm running 30 feet down on this rod, and then I got it right now, I got it 65 feet out, so another 35 feet out from the planer board, just because I could. Earlier when it was so windy, I had to keep it a little closer just so I can kind of see it. And then this one right here, I'm running on 40, just trying to get them to come up and aggressive in the morning. Again, it was so windy this morning. I'm using the big motor to troll right now, but it was so windy this morning that I actually had to use the bow mount just to get myself slowed down. So gonna probably use a little bit of both while I can right now. I'm gonna use the big motor. Reason being, I just have a little bit better control. I'm not very good with the bow mount, my electric motor. I end up overcorrecting, doing too. Fish on, yeah baby. Oh, this is a good fish, you guys. Yes, let's go. This is a nice fish, you guys. Of course, I got my light in, so that's gonna be an interesting challenge. Yes. Okay, let's see. This is a good fish. If this is a walleye, we are off to a good start. That looks like an affirmative. Planer board over the light. Look at this. This is, how's this for talent? Whoa! Let's go, you guys. We got some craziness going on over here. Good walleye. Yeah, nice walleye. This one's gonna be snack sized. Here we go. Since we're kind of going on this direction now. This one's gonna be of the snackable variety. Woohoo! Look at that. Oh, that was the planer board. And out in the net. Yes! That is the start we wanted here on windy day walleyes. A lot going on here, trying to put the planer board out, and got another one on the inside rod. This is another good one, you guys. This is another of the snack variety. Yeah, I was just trying to put the planer board out, and I just seen it go. I did a 60-yard dash to the motor. Oh, this one's gonna be close. I think it's gonna make that 15 inches. Let's go, you guys. Windy day. I'm out here early, and I'm getting rewarded. Woo! Perfect release. Let's see if it makes it. let's see, 15 and a quarter. Let's go. 2 in the box. Let's go. That's 2. I ain't gonna starve today. Something weird is going on here. We have got a heck of a fish on. Whatever. Oh, I think it's cheap shotted is what it is. I was trying to film with the gimbal. I'm having all sorts of problems with it. And, yep, another walleye. Yep, still having gimbal problems. This one's going to be not on camera. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that portion of the show. Not sure what's going on. Dang. Hey, folks, I apologize. I'm having all sorts of gimbal problems today, so just kind of testing it out. But one thing I wanted to show, I just kind of got a shot of this. So this is what the walleyes are feeding on. These junior little white bass. I mean, this is a walleye snack right here. And you could kind of tell, you really got to pay attention to your rods. And you got to make sure that bait's running good, because you'll kind of see it just tick, tick, tick. And you might think, oh, I'm on the bottom or something. You're not. You're on these little white bass. But yeah, this is just perfect walleye snack size right here. This is exactly what those fish are feeding on. And that's what I'm trying to emulate here with my crankbaits. So just a gorgeous, gorgeous shot of what the forage is here. And a good reason. Pay attention to your rods, because you'll get these little guys on and then you ain't gonna catch no walleyes. So that's just one of the things you always got to be looking out for here. All right, gonna do a little bit of a reset here. So I'm literally right in front of the boat dock right now. For those familiar with Hipple Lake, Farm Island, what I like to do is I just pull out of the dock and then I run all the way down to the end where it gets up into about 4.5, 5 feet. And then I just bring her down with me the entire way. Again, when I put in this morning and when I ran down, it was windy as can be. It was real dark. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was having a heck of a time. I couldn't make my gimbal work. I don't know if it was the wind, I don't know if it was the me. I don't know what the problem was, but it took me like 5 shoots to shoot the intro. I didn't pay any attention to the rods as I was messing with it, and I'm like, dang, this is gonna be rough. And kind of switched stands, light got a little better, and kind of focused up, and right as that, the wind died, and so just kind of everything kind of came together perfectly. And then we got that first fish, real nice 17 incher. I mean, that is exactly what you want here in Lake Sharpe. That's what Hipple Lake does for me all the time, is just, you can look at it, just a real big fat quality fish, well fed, feeding on those white bass that I just kind of showed y'all. And then that other one, that one was just like right at 15, it doesn't even look like the same type of fish. And I think that's one thing people got to understand, is these fish in Lake Sharpe move so dang much. Like, that fish is probably just coming in. It could have been down at West Bend this summer. You'll see really good fish. You'll see kind of those smaller, skinnier looking fish. Ain't nothing to do with the fishery. Fishery ain't in bad shape or anything like that. Quite the opposite, actually. We got a ton of forage in here. I think we've documented that with some other past videos and all the gizzard shad. We got a ton of gizzard shad in here. In Hipple Lake, we got those white bass. So that, like I said, that first fish, you could tell that one spent some time in here. It probably has been eating those white bass. And that other one, it's probably coming in here for the fall. This is about the time that this gets real good. Water temp in here, I'm looking right now, 62 degrees. So yeah, just kind of resetting the stage for everybody. I'm gonna pick up here in a second. I'm gonna run down, restart that pass, but I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. I've started looking at the graph now a little bit more, even as we've started filming this. Just because between messing with my gimbal and my stand and the low light and the wind, like, I just had a lot going on this morning. I wasn't feeling very positive. But I'll tell you what, nice big fat 17 incher on the planer board coming in, that makes you feel real good. You follow that up with another fish. That other fish that I kind of showed y'all, just that was a little sauger, and what had happened is it been hit in the mouth, and then like the bait looked like came back and got him, so he's kind of coming in sideways, so kind of looked like a stud, but in reality he was like 12 inches, so got him home. Little white bass, great way to show the forage, but I'm looking at the graph now. You guys, there's a lot of fish in here, like there's a lot of fish in here, and they look pretty solid. So I'm hoping, I mean, it's literally sun up right now. You can't really tell. We got some gorgeous light conditions here. But you know, I was rewarded for coming early. I was pretty sure it was going to be a you should have stayed in bed cowboy type of day. But wind died, sun got a little brighter, got everything figured out. Now the gimbal's working. I don't know, I'm trying to get better at this for y'all. Let's restart this pass. Let's go catch 2 more. And let's get the heck out of here before it gets windy. Okay, so I just started the second pass here. Got a 8:20, so literally been out here an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm messing with the gimbal and in the dark this morning. Kind of felt like it was about 7 hours, but you know, for those unfamiliar with where I am, Hipple Lake, this is an oxbow lake off the back end of Lake Sharpe. So Lake Sharpe down that way, the bluffs are all, that's all the main body right there. It connects back here, so further down, you used to be able to get out, now you can't after the flood in 2011, or at least it's real squirrely. Some folks done it, it's been done for like World Walleye Championship and stuff. Some of those guys and like NWT, they've done it, but not in this boat, you won't see it done. But come down here, so these fish will move in and out of this water body, and it's really unique. It's always kind of this turbid color. And I talked about the little white bass. You'll get perch in here, you'll get northern pike. It gets a little weedy, but not like the big curly leaf that you see in like Laframboise Island and such, just because we don't really have the water clarity for it. It's just because of that stinge and dinge. So you'll get some weeds, but for the most, it's a pretty clean bottom for the most part. But it's literally, I'm in 6 foot right now, 6.2. You'll find 7. As you get closer to the ramp, to the boat ramp, and then kind of the swim beach. The swim beach gets to like 8, 8.5, sometimes 9, depending on the water levels. And then there's about a 10-foot scut right in front of the creek. And so there's like a handicap fishing dock. There's a creek that comes out. That its peak is 10 feet. But even further down where I start, it was about 4.5 feet. So just a little bit of familiarity if you're not familiar with Hipple Lake here. If you are familiar with Hipple Lake, well, I'll probably see you in here in a little bit, because I hope I can get 2 more on this pass and show you that this is maybe one of the best bites on Lake Sharpe right now. But usually I start fishing at about Memorial Day. That's when I come in here, end of May, early June. And then I'll start coming back in here about mid-September. I actually haven't been back in here. I haven't been back in here yet. This is my first time this year. So, but I always like to be in here for like pheasant season, pheasant opener. So this is almost like my tradition. It just works out that it's windy. So maybe that's just how pheasant opener is. I don't know. So, just really good opportunity here. And the best thing is you get some big winds here, and they blow up the chute when it's southeast. Don't get me wrong, but even like where we are up at the boat ramp, it gets pretty clear again. It not clear, but calm. So it kind of angles in, so you're still kind of protected. North wind blows right over this beast, same with the west wind. So especially in big north and west winds, I'll come in here no problem whatsoever. But yeah, even big south winds out on the main body, it might be a big old mess. But in here, yeah, maybe out here it might get a little rocky, but you go in and you're still going to have a good boat ramp to take advantage of, and you're going to be able to fish all day, and you don't got to run far. I mean, I don't burn any gas when I'm in here. It's like 2 miles down here. Then I can come, do 2 mile, do a 2 mile pass. Takes about an hour. Give me 3 or 4 passes. I got half a day done, and at that point you're going to know if the fishing's good or not. You kind of see, and I caught those 2 just back to back, really. That's why I restarted, because at my first pass, I never really gave this a good wag, so we're gonna see if there's any fish down here. But my first pass, I always just kind of feel it out, see where the fish are. But once you find them, they're pretty concentrated, and they're pretty much right where I expected them to be for this south wind. So I'm hoping I can do 1 more pull here, catch 2 more, show how cool this bite is, and then go watch Nebraska football. Hey folks, so one piece of advice I always like to give is, I just went over a real serious pod of the tiny white bass. And then I could see them just loaded on the screen too. But the reason that tells me I'm in the right spot. And I know as much of a nuisance as it can be, people will be like, no, we're around the white bass. The fish we want aren't here. Yeah, you're absolutely wrong. The fish you want are there. Where those white bass are, those are where those walleyes are, particularly those bigger walleyes. So anytime I'm getting bit in white bass, that's true in Hipple Lake, that's true over Glacial Lakes region of South Dakota, I stay on that area. That tells me I'm gonna basically pull through this spot, and then I'm gonna go right back through there, because if the white bass are around, especially those little guys, that tells me the walleyes that I want to catch are around. Now if it's the bigger white bass, that's not necessarily true. You want those little white bass, but where you're finding those little white bass, there's gonna be nice walleyes here, and I'm hoping I can show you one here in a hot moment. Okay, so I switched things up a little bit, and I went with both. I was seeing fish kind of on the bottom, so I put both my rods down. I took the planer board out. I'm fishing a little deeper, and I got a good one here. I got a good one. It'd been a little bit of a slog that whole pass. I went and didn't have any. Oh boy, he's not hooked very good. Oh, that's a good one. That'll do. That might be all I need for lunch, to be honest with you. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Whew. That whole second pass, I didn't have any fish. Now granted, Dad's in Croatia, so I was FaceTiming him for a little bit, and the wind was just dead. And now I got the wind back, and I'm right back where I caught those fish initially. And yeah, I'd seen them kind of move down. Look at this. That's a beautiful Lake Sharpe walleye right there. This is exactly what I came for. This might be how I end the day. Just because the wind's picking up, and when it was calm, no fish. And now wind came back, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give it one more pass. And here we go. Exactly where I caught those fish at the start. That tells me wind was the factor here. So I came out looking to make the most out of a windy day, when in actuality, it was the wind that made my day. Good fishing. Woo!